Not really. Okay, very good. And we're going to be. Is that better? Okay. As you all know, I have a voice that does not carry, but I'll try to project it out to you. Joseph taught me something absolutely beautiful, many things absolutely beautiful. And one of them was to ritualize experiences. And that's one of the reasons why we have a few rituals going on today, such as the burning pot, a picnic. That's one of the ways that Joseph and I met was through lots of different picnics that we'd go up into the mountains in New Mexico. Also, there's a great idea, Dawn, and that is to have balloons and send messages to Joseph now that he's up in the ethers. So, thank you all for being here. I know some of you showed up last week on this day. Sorry about that. A lot of mixed information happens and everything else. I'm glad you're here today. I feel like I need to give you some first-hand information of how Joseph died. He did not die of cancer. It is something that he did fear and that might come about. That's not the way he died. He died from heart failure. And his loving heart slowed to a still. And may we all be so lucky to pass that way. It was really beautiful to be there with him. And I'm glad I had a lot of support. So thank you all for your kind words when you emailed, Facebooked, and did all that. It was very touching. Oftentimes, Joseph and I, what we like to do is set up things, we doubled it on special dates. I'll give you kind of a few examples. We moved to San Miguel Allende February 14th, 2001, on Valentine's Day. We married on his birthday, September 14th, 2008. We got married in California. I know some of you were there with us. We picked up the deed to the land of our house on Halloween of 2007. And we broke ground on Thanksgiving of 2009 to build the house that we both had dreamed about. "18 years ago today is the day that Joseph and I met. We met in a coffee bar in Las Vegas, New Mexico, on this very day. We also share this day with Ron Sabaris's wife, Mary, as it's her birthday. So thank you for joining us here on this day. It has multiple meanings, as you can tell. I feel that Joseph is here with us today. I hope you all feel the same. I think we need to kind of stand up, give him a big, warm welcoming for being here and showing up today. Joseph always liked public speaking. He was like a master at it. He could wrap an audience around his finger in about the first 2 to 3 sentences. Anybody here who ever joined us on a retreat knows that he is an amazing storyteller. He's an amazing writer. A lot of you have written his books. and he's so charming. So incredibly charming. So I know he enjoyed your big applause for him. Now I'm going to speak directly to Joseph. Bear with me through this. Thank you, my love, for accepting me. I have been in love with you for 18 years to this day. Feeling your unconditional love has been very, very healing. A love as unique as you. I speak with Joseph for about 2 hours a day, directly to him. And it's amazing the comfort I get from it. I also encourage you to speak to him directly. He is here, yet we can't see him. And if anybody can, I want to know. There was a lady yesterday who called, and she was asking if she could talk to Joseph. And I thought it was funny, touching, ridiculous, insensitive, basically the whole spectrum. And, well, she was asking about if Joseph could basically run a retreat for her. And it was kind of interesting to respond to her. First of all, I don't know her. And the other thing that was strange is she never gave me her name. But it was also really great when she asked the best way to get a hold of him. I told her that she would know. And she said that she would love to email him, so I encouraged her to do so. And I said, if you get a response, let me know. And it was very interesting because I just decided not to lead on. She obviously didn't know him personally. And it was also very funny at the same time. So I just wanted to share that little story with you today. I'm going to speak to Joseph again. I'm honored having traveled the world with you. From Santa Fe to Buenos Aires. From Mexico to Canada, Thailand, Bali, Guatemala, Hong Kong, New Zealand, and to your family land of Italy, as well as Ashtabula for your 50th class reunion. I don't think the people in Ashtabula could really handle it. It was quite funny. I show up and one of the guys there, who of course I've never met, they have name tags on. I think his name was John. And John looks over at me and he was just like, well, Mike, I don't remember you in the class reunion. I tapped him on the shoulder and just said, John, we took the photograph that was taken of the class. I was right next to you. He totally had no idea how to take it. And I decided, it's okay. So going to Joseph's class reunion, his 50th reunion, was really kind of a beautiful and special thing because I got to be to Ashtabula for the first time, understand the stories and the place in which he grew up. Joseph had a pretty amazing life. One of the parts was he grew up in Ashtabula, then he became a monk. He found a way how to get out of Ashtabula. And he was a monk for 8 years. I know some of you know this story. 1 year of it was in total silence, his first year that he was in the monastery. From there, he went to Austin, Texas. He was in Austin, Texas, got 2 degrees, an undergrad and master's degree, communication and in film. And he decided that Austin, Texas was pretty cool and hip, but it wasn't Washington. He moved to Washington, D.C. In Washington, D.C., he lived in DuPont Circle. He always had a tendency to be in the right place at the right time. So this is during Watergate. He had 2 years that he was in Washington and then decided to go to LA. He loves film. So he went to LA. He met one of his best friends, Paul Kohner, and from there, in the New York Times, in the LA Times, they wrote a piece about him. You'll see a black folder on your tables. That's Joseph's writing. He archived a lot of his writing, made copies of it, and that's what's in those books. He did something really quite amazing. A good friend of his from the LA Times wrote a piece about him that he's following his heart and his talent as a writer, and he's getting out of LA, and he moved to Santa Fe. He was in Santa Fe and wrote and wrote and wrote, loved the art of writing and kept writing. So he did that. He also started a film program in Santa Fe. He knows Greer Garson very personally, and she also sponsored the film studios of the Greer Garson Center. It's amazing how many famous people Joseph knows, and yet he's so humble about it, he never bragged. I'd have to pull it out of him and ask him. It's like, well, hey, what's this? Who is this? And then he'd be like, oh yeah, that's such and such, and this happened, in 2001, or this happened in 1990. It's quite amazing. So Joseph is very dear to my heart, and may he always be one of my angels. And I love you dearly. Thank you for being here.